We're kind of stuck right in the sweet spot when it comes to Daredevil Born Again, because we got to look about 6 months in the past when it comes to season 1, and then a little bit less than 6 months to the future when it comes to season 2 and perhaps beyond. And here we are stuck once again with people going, oh right, that did come out this year, and then also the people that do remember it going, oh, they actually are getting a season 2, huh? Well, one of those camps is significantly larger than the other one, and for the sake of Disney, well, at this point in time, I don't really know which one they would prefer, because Daredevil Born Again makes a Marvel history. All 9 episodes failed to chart. Remember, guys, this was watched by fewer people than Echo and Agatha all along. A continuation of a much beloved Netflix series comes to a failed streaming service, and it dies on the vine. That's not just the series, it's also the characters themselves. Both of them were, the main characters and a lot of the other cast were thoroughly assassinated. It is an absolutely atrocious show. Don't let people revise it to you at all whatsoever. This is just, it's one of the worst things that Disney has ever put out on the streaming service, and I'm not being hyperbolic. Moment of silence, folks. Yes, because RIP MCU continues. It has been learned that all 9 episodes of Marvel's Daredevil Born Again have failed to appear on the Nielsen viewership charts. The first time in MCU history, a Marvel series on Disney Plus has failed to make the charts. Even Agatha, Echo, Ms. Marvel, they got 98,000 viewers on ABC. Bro, they put it on broadcast TV and it did less than 100,000 viewers. Okay, and it got a better viewership on D+. Okay, than Daredevil. Fucking Daredevil. Anyways, and She-Hulk and Secret Invasion. Okay, if Daredevil's not the worst, She-Hulk and Secret Invasion are probably fighting for that bottom spot. Okay, Marvel Crybabies. Yes, also can't downplay Nielsen. Yes, Disney Plus has Nielsen tracking automatically enabled on all user accounts. So yeah, this right here, guys. Okay, the week of the season finale's release, it didn't even sniff anything close to that. 4 episodes of Mobland were out. Reacher had just wrapped up its 3rd season. Wheel of Time was barreling towards cancellation, and all of those failed spectacularly, or rather Daredevil failed spectacularly in the face of all of that, which is why the upcoming season 2 that has already been greenlit, it's already been shot, it's already been wrapped up. I think both Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have already sent out different social media posts at this point in time, saying, oh, thanks, we just wrapped on season 2, hopefully really looking forward to it. And at this point in time, I feel very, very sad for those guys, because they're pouring their heart out. They're doing some great stuff, and hell, they even fought with Kevin Feige to scrap the original series, the original reboot series, the first draft of Born Again. Follow me on this one. How they had 18 episodes that were supposed to be like a lighthearted legal drama a la Ally McBeal. It's like just the wildest shit ever. But they, both of them went into the offices and like, we can't make this work. So yeah, they ended up fighting for a more serious, grounded show. It's just unfortunate that what they ended up getting probably wouldn't have been that much better than what they gave up. So Daredevil stars Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio differ on the future of Born Again series after season 2. What are we talking about here? Will Daredevil Born Again continue beyond season 2? Fuck, I don't even want it to continue to season 2, but the stars of the show have offered conflicting reports. Daredevil Born Again has become a contentious focal point for fans. Well, yeah, because you got Cuckpin and Derp Devil. It's like nobody wants to see this shit anymore. The show, which premiered its first season earlier this year on D+, yes, has drawn heavy criticism for devotees. Well, actually, yeah, devotees of both film, television, and just coherent storytelling in general. A series that ran from 2015 to 2018, with many accusing it of softening the original's gritty action, moral complexity, and character depth in favor of broader MCU integration. I would think that you basically covered all of the broad points there. It also failed to chart on Nielsen's top 10, or yeah, even the broader top 100 list during its run. Signaling underwhelming viewership metrics amid Marvel's ongoing challenges with D+. However, recent statements from the 2 leads have sparked confusion and debate about whether the series will extend beyond the upcoming 2nd season. So Born Again marks the official continuation of the Daredevil saga in the MCU, following the integration of a Netflix Defenders characters into the broader franchise. Yeah, because Jessica Jones is supposed to play into the 2nd season, I think, something something like that. And I think there's been enough teases to like Luke Cage to also be brought in. I know that they have a race and gender swapped Iron Fist in, oh god, what was that? Eyes of Wakanda. Remember how that came out a couple of weeks ago and nobody talks about it? Anyways, the series underwent a significant creative overhaul midway through the production of its first season. Yeah, and how will that work out for anybody? It was probably written by, somebody who's differently abled, like Matt Murdock, just lacks all of the superpowers. Yeah, including bringing back and killing off key elements of the signatures, or the show's signature violence and moral complexity, though many still found these elements lacking. Yeah, they all sucked. So what did Charlie Cox have to say about this? Okay, a guy who very much has, it's so funny, right? Because he was a part of one of the worst TV shows of the year, and he was also a part of one of the best video games this year, so he's had quite a bifurcated career in 2025. Remember, he voiced one of the characters alongside Andy Serkis. God, I got to get around to playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I just talked about in the previous video on the day about how I'm just kind of trudging through Final Fantasy 15, which I'm liking more than when I originally played it back on release. I can't remember when it released, but that was one of the last games that I played to completion prior to me, taking a sabbatical to gaming. But I am liking it a little bit better. But yeah, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, you're calling my name towards the end of the year once I get through just revisiting all of these Final Fantasy games that I don't quite have the best grasp on. And yep, so far, not a great spin. Anyways, controversy began when Charlie Cox, during an appearance at GalaxyCon in late July, referred to Season 2 as the final season. Interesting. While discussing a unique element introduced in the show, not present in the comics, Cox stated, there's something that we do in this final season that doesn't exist in the comics, so it's unique to our show, and I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, great. And given that Daredevil's comic runs, that has been one of the most consistent runs from Marvel, and you've had some of the best artists and some of the best writers in the entire industry working on Daredevil, that's a bold claim to make and think that you're going to do it better than the likes of like Frank Miller and Mark Waid prior to, well, actually Mark Waid's run was shit, but some of those other seminal runs, it's that's a bold statement, my friend. This casual remark sent ripples through the fan community, suggesting that Born Again might conclude after its second outing, much like some other MCU series. Yeah, which the only one that got a second series outside of like the animated slop. The only one was Loki that got a season 2, even though there's now rumors once again of Hawkeye getting a second season. I guess they're either going to pony up to Jeremy Renner or he doesn't have anything else to do. But Mayor of Kingstown, I think, has just launched or is about to launch, so he's probably got better and more important things to do. But entertainment outlets picked up on the statement, interpreting it as a hint that Marvel might not pursue further seasons, especially amid the studio's efforts to streamline its Disney Plus output. Yes, because we're going to focus on quality over quantity, because releasing like a 3D plus series and like 3 movies a year, it's like we don't want to do that at Marvel anymore. We want to have three theatrical releases, 2 live action and 1 animated feature throughout the year, or maybe a couple live action, couple animated. We'll just play it by year because we're focusing on quality over quantity. What did D'Onofrio have to say about this? Private Pile, get his word on this. In contrast, D'Onofrio has been more optimistic about the show's longevity. Yes, responding directly to fan inquiries on X following Cox's comments, D'Onofrio clarified that season 2 is not intended as the end, and he stated that there's a good chance for a 3rd season, emphasizing that the series could continue as long as Marvel and Disney Plus desire, which follows up on the most recent development in this story, where Daredevil Born Again set to run through at least season 3. Oh, fuck. How many people are going to be running through Vanessa for Kingpin to cry over? Jesus. Charlie Cox recently created some confusion among fans, about calling season 2 the final season. D'Onofrio said that, oh, no, there's a good chance for a season 3, for the 6 people that will unironically watch it, and for the whole host of YouTube reviewers that will almost prop up the viewership, but you just take a look at The Acolyte. That's like the perfect example. Or She-Hulk. Where's season 2 of She-Hulk, please? But I would actually, if we're going to compare those two, I want Acolyte season 2 more than She-Hulk, because She-Hulk was just like cringe bad and awful, and that joke ran very, very thin, very, very quickly. But The Acolyte was just it was just so wrong on so many different levels so frequently that, yes, more of that, please. Sources tell Nexus Point News that Daredevil Born Again is expected to continue through at least a 3rd season, depending on the reception of season 2. Oh, it's not going to be good. Trust me on that one. Marvel Studios has already begun prepping for a potential renewal and aiming to begin production on Season 3 in March 2026. Jesus. Shoot through the summer, similar to Season 2's production schedule. But yes, because I know, Season 2, obviously, because we got set photos, a lot of set photos, conspicuous for the number and the high quality of those set photos that, definitely leak. Somebody snuck on set, kind of like how somebody snuck on set of Avengers Doomsday, right? But yes, no concrete release date. I would imagine we'd probably be getting that sooner rather than later, given just the absolute desert of content Marvel has coming out between now and Wonder Man. Holy shit. But anyways, yes, following season 3's release, their contract for the series will be up and will need to be renegotiated pending the status and reception of the series. And then, yeah, by that point in time, we'll be getting into Avengers Secret War territories and a full soft reboot, or depending on how far we go and depending on the box office returns for Secret Wars, probably a hard reboot for the MCU. Born Again Season 1 premiered, yes, March 4th, 2025. Shooting began in 2023, halted by the WGA strike, and unfortunately it didn't get halted for good. So yes, Season 3 is a rumor. Vincent D'Onofrio seems optimistic there could be one. And Charlie Cox has also walked back his final season statements by saying, the slip of the tongue. We don't know for sure. I just, I got caught flat-footed. Don't worry about it. So, all gonna land, in the lap of the fans. What are they going to have to say about this? The discrepancy has ignited discussions across social media and fan forums. Some interpret Cox's words as a slip-up or contractual caution, while others see D'Onofrio's response as a deliberate effort to keep hope alive. As of August 13th, and at this point in time when I'm recording this stuff, August 25th, Marvel has not officially commented on plans beyond Season 2, set to premiere next year. And honestly, at this point in time, right, I've talked about this, like I go back, and for a lot of cringe shows that came out in 2024, I go back and I re-listen to a whole bunch of, their breakdowns. Rings of Power, Season 2, that one's like right at the top. I love listening to how bad that is. Arcane Season 2, the exact same thing, but I just cannot muster up a single flying fuck to hear a breakdown of Daredevil Born Again. Again, it's just, it was such concentrated shit. And outside of one dialogue exchange between the Punisher and Daredevil, it is a totally worthless show. And not even the Punisher made it out the other side. But hey, he's going to be a softer, nicer, less vicious Punisher, even though he's supposed to be as vicious. But how are you going to get away with all of the shit that, John Bernthal was able to do on Netflix, both in Daredevil and in his own show on a Sony Spider-Man movie? How are you going to make that work? But hey, he's going to have his own, standalone special feature, which should probably come out before Season 2 of Born Again. So we'll see. Maybe if John Bernthal has a little bit more creative input into Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, maybe that'll be better. But then again, he also signed off on a lot of the stupid shit that happened in Season 1. So I don't hold out hope. I don't hold out for hope for anything related to Marvel at this point in time. It has all failed. It has all floundered. And yeah, there's going to be a lot more to come. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.